Is real-time social media a waste of time? It depends on your objective. If you're a service-based brand, then of course not. You might have a customer service element, and then real-time is good for you. A good friend of mine, Thomas Messett, says it's not about what is said; it's about what is read. And so, making sure that things are there at the right time doesn't mean you have to be there in real time.
Oh no, well, real-time marketing and real-time media has never really been anything new. I mean, even back in the offline world, if you go to a restaurant, for example, I'm sure you remember, and it might be your birthday, and the waitress might say, oh, here's a free cocktail or glass of wine because it's your birthday. What they were doing is capitalizing on the moment, seizing the opportunity for a bit of publicity, and also for a word of mouth. So I think what social media has done is actually bring that to the forefront. So what we have now is social media which is real-time marketing at any time, available to anyone.
The use of real-time social media for brands and brand marketers, to me, is a hugely valuable opportunity, to be honest with you. I've just stepped away from a dinner where people are having a conversation and immediately looking to their phone to get some extra opinion. So the sad fact of life is attention spans in this country are getting shorter and shorter, which means for brands, you need to jump right into what people care about right now. For brands, that's a great opportunity to get creative, to jump on what the moments are right now, and then if you follow that through with smart distribution, you've got a real opportunity to capture people's attention. So do I think it's a waste of time? I think exactly the opposite.
I don't think real-time social media is a waste of time, but I do think that there's probably a lot of hyperbole, which means that a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon without necessarily thinking about whether they're culturally relevant to the trends that they're picking on. And for brands to be successful, I think they need to be sure that they can authentically talk about the kind of news and the real-time trends that they're getting involved with.
So, I mean, effectively, no, I don't think it is a waste of time. There's two things to remember with real-time, though. One is that you have to plan it, so you can't just real-time off the cuff. So you need to have a team ready, you need to be aware of what's going on around you. Some real-time is actually real-time, some real-time is pre-planned and can happen many months in advance. We did real-time for Royal Baby, and actually that was 6 weeks in the making, and we just had to wait for the right time to produce it. But on the other side, we did the Kim Kardashian real-time 2 weeks ago, got us over 30,000 retweets on Twitter, and that was genuine real-time. So it's not a waste of time, but it's got to be genuine. So if you're not ready and it's not genuine, then it can be a waste of time, but if you get those two things right, it's really good for your brand.
It's easy to remember that you have easy access to your target audience at any time using social media, but so does your competition. So I think there's 4 key things to remember with real-time marketing. It's be inventive, be connected, but be prepared. So the more prepared you are, the more time you have to spend on that creative interaction with people, and eventually that's being engaging with your target audience.
No, I wouldn't say that. Real-time social media for us is really important. We have an always-on strategy for Paddy Power, so it means like we're covering live events all the time. Twitter especially is like a second screen, so when we like live tweet football games, we live tweet big sporting events all the time because we know people at home want to see what Paddy Power has to say about this event. So all the time we would like to speak with our irreverent tone of voice. We kind of give people opinion. We want to do something different from everybody else. Like BBC News or ITV or whoever, news agencies will tell you what the score is in the game and what's going on. We want to deliver that in a Paddy Power tone of voice. So we want to give people stuff we want to deliver stuff to people that are talking about with their friends on the pub. So our tone of voice is, you're talking to your best friend down the pub, what are you talking about? You're talking about this guy who scored a goal, what his hair looks like, what colour boots he's wearing. That's what we talk about for Paddy Power and social. So always on is our strategy. We talk about it all the time. And it's really important to us as a brand.